Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And we continue with module 3. With module 3, it's section 2, control statements. Control statements. In the control statements, these control statements are used to create special program features such as logical test, loops, and branches. Okay, these are the controls. Yani you put conditions in your program so you can control the program. These conditions can be logical tests, yani true or false, loops, meaning that if the condition is true, the program will continue, go back and repeat the process again. There are two categories or two types of control statements. Okay, the first one is called conditional statement. The second one is called iterative statements. Okay, so we have two types. One is conditional and the other one is iterative. Right. Now let's look at the first one, conditional statements. Conditional statements are used to make decisions when two or more alternative actions are to be computed. There are three types. Yani with the conditional statements, and you have to make a decision. لازم تتخذ قرار. عندك خيارين, إما true or false. If the condition is true, then we will go with the A. If this condition is false, we will go with the other direction, B. And there are three types of conditional statements. عندنا ثلاثة أنواع. The first one is called the if statement, the if-else statement, and the switch statement. Then how many types we have under the conditional? We have three: if, if-else, and switch. Okay, very important to remember. In the conditional statements, the program executes once and exit. يعني بنفذ المطلوب وبظل عامل ايش؟ exit. بخرج خارج البرنامج. إذن only executed once and exit. Okay, it doesn't go back and repeat the process. ما برجع مرة ثانية وبعيد إجراءات تنفيذ البرنامج. إذن تنفيذ مرة واحدة وبظل إيش عامل؟ exit. خروج من البرنامج. Okay, let's take a look at the first type, which is the if statement. Right? Now let's look at this example, 3.14. This example is to display the square root of a number. The square root of a number. يعني هذا البرنامج يحسب لنا الجذر التربيعي لرقم. Program include stdio.h, include math.h. طبعا this math.h we use this math.h, this header file, to call the math library. لأنه هاي الماث library has all the math functions. هذه مخزن داخلها كل أوامر الرياضيات. Main, start. الآن we have to define our input and output variables. We say float, num, this is the input, x is the output. Float is the data type. Printf, this is a display, this will display on the screen to tell the user to enter a number. Scanf, this statement is used for input, to accept the user input, double quotes, %f, double quotes, comma, ampersand, num. Percent, this is for the f. We are using f because we define the variables as a float, so we have to use f. Ampersand, this is to tell the computer where is the location, مكان تخزين variable num. This is the input. Scanf used with the input. This here tells the computer the location of this variable. طبعا don't forget the semicolon. شوف the semicolon at the end. So this is the input process. هذه ايش؟ عملية الإدخال للرقم. After the user input the number, the second step is the condition. This is what is called the conditional statement. شايف هذه الكونديشن؟ لا شايفينه انت هنا؟ هذه الدايموند شيب. تتذكر قلنا عن الدايموند شيب انه يستخدم للكونديشن. هذه الاف ستيتمنت. if النمبر entered by the user less than 0 greater than 0. If this number is greater than 0, إذا الرقم اللي دخله اليوزر أكبر من 0, okay, if this is true, then we go to the next step, which is x equals square root of the number. X is the output variable. Square root is the function to calculate the square root of a number. And num, which is the variable, the input variable. So if this condition is true, it will jump to the next statement, x equals square root of the number. It will calculate the output of this expression, نتيجة العملية الحسابية هان, it will be stored in x. It will be stored in x. The next step is the printf statement. This will display the square root of the number. %f, because x is a float. طبعا here we don't use the ampersand, the location, because we are using printf. We are using what? Printf. With the printf, we don't use the location sign. And after it prints the output, it will do what? The exit. It will stop. This is if the condition is true. If this condition is false, it will jump from the condition to the exit part. So the first thing, it will decision. This is the decision. If this condition is true, it will go to the next step. X equal printf. If this condition is false, it will do an exit immediately without executing these two statements. Okay, let's take this program. Let's take this program and run it in the C compiler. This is the program. If we run it, okay, here we need the include stdio.h. Okay, now let's run the program. Okay, now it's okay. You see here, it's waiting for a number. Enter a number. So if you input 5, this 5, it will be stored in num. The computer will take it and store it in the variable input num. Enter. This is the square root, right? This is the square root of the square root of x is equal to 2.23. This is the output. It will print the output and immediately do an exit only one time. Right? Now we run it again. Enter a number. If we enter here minus 5, minus 8. This minus 8, the condition, it says if the number greater than 0. Minus 8 is less than 0, In this case, the program, what it will do, this condition becomes false. So immediately it will go to the exit. الناقص 8 أقل من الصفر. في هذا